Hi gang, Denise here, and this is Pose of the Week. This week our pose is Ustrasana, or camel pose, and this is for Angela. Angela, I know you're also teaching, so let's look at a couple of different ways of teaching Ustrasana, okay? One way I like to do these days is use a block. So I'm going to place the block between my thighs, and then I'm going to set up my feet. So you can either point the toes back, plantar flexing at the ankle. If you do that, then I recommend you're pressing into the toenail side of your foot, nice and strong. If you have a tendency to foot cramp or calf cramp, you might enjoy tucking the toes under a little bit more. In either case, you're still pressing down into the toes. So that has to be energized, very much so. And then if you come around and look at the front, you can position, depends on your lever length and all of that. But for me, if I put the block in this position, I'm going to have my femurs parallel. And that's pretty much what I want to do in this pose. I'll take my hands to my hips. I'm squeezing the block a little bit, getting some thigh activation there. I want Mula Bandha activation at my pelvic floor. So that's the first piece. Then I'll guide my hips forward slightly, and then as my hips come forward, I'll just bring my hands around to the back side of my pelvis and just feel there. Now, if I've had back issues, I might want to use my thumbs or my hands to kind of tug down on the tissue right here. It feels pretty good to do that. It feels very supportive for the SI joint. So I'll squeeze the block, press down into my feet, shift my hips forward, engage Mula Bandha. Then I use my eyes. I start looking at the wall in front of me, and then I slide my gaze up. My body is going to naturally follow that. And then I eventually am going to come to a place where I find, all right, that feels sustainable, relatively comfortable. If I'm only this far back, then I want to keep my chin a little bit tucked. This is not far enough back to start dropping my head. I don't want to kink my tube quite so much. So I'm squeezing the block, I've got lots of energization, I'm going to get very hot very quickly, it's so good. And then when I come out of it, I'll tuck my chin and come down. So that's using the block to get some inner thigh activation. But I also love using a strap around the outside. So you can just step into that. And again, I'm using a length of band that's going to keep my thighs roughly parallel. I choose my foot position once again, same as we set up before, and now once again I'll engage Mula Bandha. You want to think of one piece right from the tail through the pubic bone and up the front seam. Keep all of that engaged. Now we're starting to shift the hips forward, use my gaze again to look up, wrap my hands around to the back, and you're just exploring. Use your eyes, and you might find that you do want to reach back for your heel at some point. Now, before you reach back from your heel, you might have blocks. And that might be the thing that you reach down for. Blocks are great. You can walk them around so you get them just in the right position where they can support you. This is a very, very challenging pose for people. They can feel quite emotionally vulnerable in this pose. And it's also addressing that back line of the body, which we often have in a lengthened position. So the muscles can be quite cranky, and it can be quite hard to open and lengthen the front body. But I recommend that we do it with lots of activation. That actually makes the mind feel that the body is not in danger. So if you're using your muscles, you're engaging Mula Bandha, you're using your eyes to help you reach back, that's all going to sort of calm the mind that you're safe in the posture. There's no rush to get all the way back. Build your foundation first, as always. Thanks so much for your question, Angela. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.